Good morning and a beautiful morning it is. And today we're going to be working on the Buget Man Cave. If you haven't seen my last video where we installed the stove, that should be part 2. And we're going into part 3 right now where we're going to install the diesel heater. Let's jump in the video. I'm thinking about putting it on the ground here instead of up on the shelf, which now I'm going to have to either rip the carpet down or cut a hole in it. So I got the 10-liter fuel tank off. I just need to disconnect the fuel line and drain the fuel out of it. I have one of these through hull, and there'll be a link below. But you put it through the wall so the exhaust can go out. I'm going to use a 1 3/4 hole saw. There we go. We got a nice hole in the side of the shed. Alright, I have that about 90% installed. I still need to cut the carpet around it so it's not so close, and I need a second person to tighten it up. But on the outside, it's nice and sealed. It has 2 rubber gaskets, one on the outside, one on the inside. That's what the exhaust will look like. I just need to get a hose clamp, make sure it's nice and secured. That's what it looks like on the outside of the shed. There's not much of a overhang, so I don't think the fumes are going to get trapped. Probably at least 3 feet off the ground, so it should be out of the snow. I think what we're going to do is use this storage shelf to get it off the ground. Then put a 5-gallon gas can in here and use the nipple off the other one to connect the hose. I'm going to drill a hole in the bottom side, and then I'll have room to leave another 5-gallon spare out here to fill it up with. Definitely not perfect, but at least it'll give it some shelter from the snow. And I'll probably drill a few holes in the bottom so it doesn't fill up with water. And I should have more than enough room from the exhaust so nothing catches fire. So the easiest way I found is if you take a wire, I don't know the gauge off the top of my head, I think it's around 18 or something. Stick it to the bottom first, turn the can upside down, and then fetch it out of the top here. Then you connect the fuel connector, and then you just pull it down and pull it through the hole that you drill. I don't know if I can do it on camera. Let's see here. Push it in. This will obviously be a lot easier doing it with 2 hands. See how I got it now? Then I just need to grab a hold of it and pull it through. So I'm going to have to use 2 hands, otherwise the wire is going to slip out before I can get a hold of it. But that's how you do it. And you put the nut on it with the O-ring, and then you hold it by the tip here, and then you tighten it down, and it creates a seal. I used a 5/16 drill bit. It is really tight, so when you pull it up, you gotta basically screw it through the hole. That's how snug it is. So I drilled a 5/16 hole straight through the storage bin, straight through the shed, so it lines up. Now I just need to hook it up to the diesel heater. I took it off right at the fuel filter, so I just plug it back in. Make sure you leave a little bit extra. So I'm probably going to get a 2x4 and put it in here so it keeps it away from the edge, because you don't want the fuel line to get pinched. So I drilled a hole in the side of the bin and connected it to the fuel filter. The fuel line is all connected now. And I feel like I should say you should be doing this in a well ventilated area because you are dealing with fuel, so it gives off fumes. Alright, I got the wood there. So now it's nice and secured. I still have room for 2 5-gallon, so I'm going to have to bring in 5 gallons and dump it in every time. And I'm using heating fuel, which is number 1, so I'm not too concerned about it freezing during winter time. And that's also what people use to heat their homes, to have above ground tanks. So I can put the cover on it, so it kind of protects it. Maybe I'll come up, actually. There we go, that's perfect. So if you flip it upside down, granted it doesn't seal it all the way around, but it protects it a lot better. There we go. See? You guys are helping me out already. So I got this on Amazon. It's an AC to DC converter. I'll have the link below. I set my diesel heater to run off a cigarette lighter plug, and I got this converter just in case I wanted to use house power. I picked these up at Lowe's, so I did tidy up the wires. It is loose. It's not a snug fit. It comes down, and I have the converter where it goes from AC to DC so it won't fall, and then it goes down where I hook it up to the diesel heater. So pretty nice and clean install. Next, we need to mount the control panel. Mount it underneath the shelf, directly above the heater. Should be far enough away from the door, shouldn't get wet or anything. I think that's going to be a good spot. To mount the outlet for the heat, just underneath the counter. Let's get one more strap, try and make it a little more tidy. There we go, not bunched up. It's away from the exhaust, so we should be able to get some good heat out of it. I put the lid on, so you see the red light, so it has power. The control modular has power. It does come with the remote, which I don't know if there's a battery in it or if the battery even has charge still. I did add a clamp to it, so it holds the exhaust on. I guess it does. been running for about 10 minutes now. It's definitely warming up inside here. It is windy outside and I do have the door open. I need to get a thermostat for inside here, an inside and outside one, especially when it becomes wintertime, to see how hot it gets in here. In our next video, we should be installing this, so stay tuned. I did close the door, and yes, I do have a carbon monoxide detector in here, just to make sure. Want to see what it sounds like when you turn it down to about 3, which is in the green, before it was on max. Even at that setting, it's still pumping out some pretty decent heat. I don't think it'll keep up with -20 and -40, but I guess we'll see. Plus also we have a wood stove in here, so that should be hopefully the main heat source. And this is more of getting it up to temperature. And if we sleep in here, we'll be able to stay warm all night and not worry about maintaining a fire or causing a fire. Just turn it up to max. I don't know if you guys can hear it winding up. I would say the noise level is about double, which makes sense because it has to burn more fuel. Let's shut it off. Make sure when you turn it off, you don't unplug it. It needs to go through its full cycle before you can turn off all power to it. Stay tuned. I haven't decided what I'm going to make, but I'm sure I'm going to add some food to the end of this. Thanks for watching. I appreciate all my subscribers. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe, smash that like button, share. Until the next video, thanks for watching. Bye.